Last week, Tesla finally announced their Model 3 refresh, more widely known as Project Highland. It has been the buzz on Tesla channels, and I wanted to talk about Tesla Project Highland. More specifically, I wanted to talk about if I regretted my purchase of my 2023 Model 3 ahead of that announcement. Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. My name's Max, and let's get into Project Highland. So, like I said, this announcement came last week, and if you tuned into my channel, you know that's also when we ordered our car. In fact, we ordered our Tesla at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, August 30th, and Tesla dropped the reveal less than 24 hours later on the 31st. So that brings us to the question, should I have waited? Before we get into whether or not I should have made that decision, let's first talk about some of the Model 3 highlights. So first of all, the entire exterior has been updated with a slightly sleeker design. Most notably, you see narrow headlights, some sharper designs on the outside of the car, things of that nature. Further, there are new Photon Aero wheels for the car, which are supposed to be more aerodynamic, more efficient. The interior has a lot of updates, including a larger info display, faster phone charging, there's ambient lighting, and of course they've added the rear screen to the back that is similar to what we see on the Tesla Model S and X. They've also done away with stalks along the steering wheel, opting for touch controls for the blinkers on the steering wheel, along with screen-controlled shifting that we also saw on the Tesla Model S and X. Trunk size has increased its capacity. The entire cabin design has been redesigned with more premium materials that not only make for a nicer look and feel, but is also supposed to make the car more comfortable and quiet for your driving experience. Thicker acoustic glass on the front and rear windows also should eliminate a lot of the road noise that Tesla was unfortunately known for prior to this update. It is also allegedly supposed to have a brand new battery that is more advanced and could increase distances up to 12%, although the mileage ranges we're seeing now come from WLTP standards, not EPA, and EPA is known to be a little bit more stringent, so I would fully expect those to come down by the time this model hits the United States. Something a little interesting and unexpected is that hardware 4 that was on the newer S's and X's is not going to be on this refresh. It's still going to be on hardware 3. And finally, price is not yet available in the US, but in overseas markets, we're seeing it to be about 42,900 euros for the base offering, which is about 46K-ish US. The long-range trims are closer to 50,900 euros, which is just shy of $55,000 US. And this is without any additional software. Which leads us to the question, do I actually regret purchasing my car literally a day before they announced all this information? Do all of these features make my purchase less valuable than it was prior to finding this information out? Well, to be honest, the answer is actually no for me. When we purchased this car, it was a calculated risk. We did enough research to know that this potential announcement was coming, and we even were suspicious that it was coming the week we ordered the car. Leading up to our purchase on Wednesday, we had heard rumors or read rumors that it would be announced Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Happened to be Thursday. So we made the decision knowing that there could be a potential information drop coming that would end up impacting our price. And the reason we proceeded with our purchase is because if you know anything about the Tesla inventory pricing, is that it fluctuates all the time due to a multitude of factors that impact the discount you're actually getting. One of those things that appears to cause the price to change is the demand in your area. Right after my wife and I ordered our car, the prices of the trims in our area actually changed compared to what they were moments before. So we can only imagine that the fact that we ordered a car with a specific color and style in our area, it actually impacted the pricing on the other cars in the same area to drive demand in different areas. So how this all ties back into Project Highland is due to the fact that we knew that the purchase price of the car is heavily influenced by demand. And therefore, the announcement of this car, and depending on how it received, could impact the demand around the car and the discounts that you would end up getting. For instance, if the announcement came out and the car was this massive leap forward at an affordable price, demand for current Model 3 inventory would drop. That would likely lead to more discounts, or at the very least, stabilizing the discounts available so that they could continue moving the inventory that they had on hand to get ready for the refresh. Conversely, if when the announcement was made, it was received poorly, it would probably drive traffic of people buying the current Model 3 who wanted to take advantage of the discount, take advantage of current tax incentives, and therefore driving up the purchase price because they would likely reduce the discount in conjunction with that increased demand. We therefore decided not to wait And to take the discount and product we had on hand, we were kind of betting on the fact that this trim update, while superior, would not be worth the cost benefit that you were receiving. And while from what I've seen, the new Highland announcement hasn't significantly impacted the pricing on the current Model 3s, I still stick with my decision to buying the 2023 model versus waiting out for the Highland. And there are two main reasons for that. The first reason is price. While we don't have the US pricing yet, if the euro conversion is any indicator, the long range pricing will cost somewhere around $54,000. We paid about $44,000 for our car, given the current discounts. So that's quite a big delta when you're talking about $10,000, and that's before any kind of taxes, any kind of add-ons. The second reason I'm glad we didn't wait ties back to the battery. Now, although we're allegedly getting more range on this battery, I think it's a little bit ominous that there is no US announcement yet for an American company. And to me, this might tie back to the active rumors that the battery sourcing for Tesla is shifting from the US to their new Gigafactory in Shanghai. The tax incentive in the US right now that makes these cars so affordable to so many drivers ties to the battery sourcing. And for the United States, year over year, the requirement to have that battery sourced within the US becomes more and more stringent. So if the sourcing of the new car's battery no longer meets the requirements of the United States for federal tax incentives, that is a potential $7,500 benefit that you no longer receive. That is a huge gap for the average buyer. Now, there is no evidence confirming this theory at this time, but it could explain why we haven't had a US launch yet. Tesla could be holding their cards close to the vest until they get this situation sorted out, and they want to control the media around the impact of potentially not having a tax incentivized vehicle. Now, there's a further theory that while the new Model 3s are doing their initial launch out of the Shanghai Gigafactory, that's just for the initial product line. The long-term goal of Tesla is to move much of that production to the US Gigafactory, and that would avoid all the tax issues and the negative publicity that surround those tax issues. And this could explain the delay, as that setup and getting the sourcing in the Texas Gigafactory is pending or in process. They could be working through all those logistics now, and it could take time to get that sorted out. Either way, those factors together made me very comfortable with buying now. On top of the fact, anytime you have a new line of vehicle, you tend to have product issues that they don't get sorted out until that specific line matures. That, coupled with the fact that the discounts on the current Model 3 are still live, and if there's nothing new on the car that you actually need, I would honestly recommend that you do the same and save the money and get the car now. By no means am I saying that the current model is better than the new. The newer design is obviously an improvement and superior in most categories. I would say though that with prices and tax incentives where they are today, the typical more budget conscious consumer would not see the added benefit of waiting and paying for the Model Highland. But anyways, that's just my opinion. I would love to hear yours in the comments below. And if you are ready to pull the trigger on your own Tesla and you don't have a friend or family member with a referral code, please feel free to use mine. I've linked it below in our description box. It'll get you $500 off your purchase and free 3 months of full self-driving. Again, any upgrades I get from referral credits, I'll turn into more content that I'll put on this channel. But yeah, that's all for today. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe to see more.